Tell you what, I swear to baby Jesus, I already sent this order out, but it's still sitting there in my inbox. I gotta send it out. It's for Andrew Gutierrez. This is the plate amps. So we're still drawing quite a bit of current. So there we go. But they're still $45 shipped. So I got my first real court date tomorrow, and it's just a meeting. So it's you got to sit down, and then they got to formally make the offer of the shitty offer that they mailed me. They're like, how about you just plead guilty to like one charge of kidnapping and murder and rape, and you be a good Toby. Like, I'm a bad Toby. I tell you what, that's for damn sure. I'm motherfucking Kuta Kinte, motherfucker. So, but it's so fake. It's dumb, because if it was real, and if my attorney was real, the free attorney, he could just represent me, and I wouldn't have to go. But it's not real, so they want to make sure I show up, make sure I haven't gone to Mexico or back to Africa, and make sure I'm a good boy, make sure I do what I'm told. Really, that's what all this is about. It's really about, you got to understand that from their perspective, you are a slave. And after the Civil War, when the fake-ass 14th Amendment, technically Congress is still out, right? Because the Confederacy seceded from the Union fair and fucking square. They followed the rules. But it was the North and the banks that backed the North that decided to go to war and said, fuck you. You're trying to not be our slaves anymore. And they're like, yeah, no shit. We don't want to be slaves. And so then they used it against him and said, well, you're using Negro slaves. And they're like, well, actually, there's more white slaves than Negro slaves, but that's fine. You can say all that you want. But, the bankers realized if they just rewrite the Constitution and make everybody a U.S. citizen, and a U.S. citizen is property of the United States, right? And I already got a taste of that when I joined the military. They really let you know that you're property of the U.S. government. So, but... no, it's all just a dog and pony show, and I'll keep my mouth shut and just and it's just about showing up. But what was it? I'm going to Recoil tomorrow afterwards, because Larry wants a report on that. So he's got 10 grand invested, and I'll give him a little report. And I don't know. He yelled at me the other day at breakfast. Because of that, the blurred video. So I'm not even going to mention their name. They're not worth my time. But I'll show you some cool shit that I'm working on now. But if you guys need anything from Recoil tomorrow, let me know tonight, and I'll make a list. So, but like I said in the video, 1800.5s are back in stock. So is the DI 1200.1, which are the that's the 2 ohm stable 1200 watt, and then also the RED 1200.1s. I got a case of those here. Let's see, everybody is wanting the 1200.4s. There are a couple 1200.4s in stock, but they just like, some of them are B stock, some of them got returned, and I got to go down there and test them for them, and so they can put them back into inventory. But it takes a few days for them, just because they don't have any staff to, just because they get it in on a shipment doesn't mean it's ready to go out. And so it takes them a couple of days to process that and get everybody to count it on their balance sheet and all that kind of stuff. But let me show you this Blaupunkt amp real quick. So I picked this up from a local Facebook marketplace guy that I've bought before. He only wanted $30. I could have lowballed him to 20 because it was missing the fuses. But I looked real closely at the picture and it said 25 amps, and I was like, okay, cool. I put the fuses in there, and it works great. So I'm gonna go ahead and it's rated at only 350 watts. However, it's got a fuse rating of 50 amps, so it should be right around 650 watts, almost double that, which is odd because Blaupunkt has typically been a budget brand over the years. And I think this is probably, they've had at least 2 or 3 incarnations where I'm sure they, change hands, and then the new owner is like, let me try to make it work. I think Big D Wiz did a couple of reviews on some of their amps, which again, it's just budget oriented, but I want to open this up to look at the guts. One thing that I was worried about was that sometimes, and I've only seen this on Pyramid, so Pyramid is owned by, I forget the name of their brand, but Pyramid is owned by the same people that own Lanzar. And they did this on one of the Lanzar amps where they wired the 2 fuses in series so that way there's 2 fuses, but it's really only the power that it's consuming is the value of 1 fuse because they're in series. But let's go ahead and open this up and check out the guts real quick. All right, so this one, it's kind of nice that it has the controls, bass boost, high pass, low pass, gain, crossover, and protection. And the top comes off. And it actually holds this little aluminum badge in place without any adhesive or anything like that, which was nice. But the board is the MR1002. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. And then it uses the TIP 3536 combo. Each one of these devices is typically good for about 100 watts. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8, and then you conservatively rate it. So it probably does a solid 400 watts. And that's what was piqued my interest though, was that it was fused for 25, so 50 amp. But pretty basic setup, Class AB. It uses the bottom as the heatsink, which I'm not a fan of when they do that. Rockford does that sometimes. And you have to wait for the heat to come from this side to roll over, saturate all this aluminum, and then come up off the top. And that's why typically most of them flip the sink over and then mount it that way. So that way the amplifier typically looks like this, with the heat sink being on top, so that the heat can convect, can be sunk away, drained away. But let's see. Output sections right there. And this is a 2-channel, so you can bridge it. And then here's the power supply, and then the diodes. Caps look good, everything looks good. But it's just a real simple board. It probably cost about $25 to make. It's got the larger tabs on it, so you can put up to 4-gauge wire if you wanted. I would just use 8-gauge CCA on this. And it's just a good little amp. But you could probably find this board in, lots of brands. And remember, always look at performance. Don't really look at branding. Because anytime they have a brand, like I think they tried to reboot Nakamichi, and it's just junk. And there's nothing wrong with junk. Like, this is junk. I guess, according to audiophiles or whoever, this is junk. This is not a high performance, high fidelity considered amplifier. Is it good? Yes. Is it good enough? Yes. Especially for most people, and especially just for bass. But it's affordable, and that's what I really liked about it. So $30 in, I'll probably give it a value of about $60 to maybe $70 in a bass combo with like maybe 1 or 2 subs, depending on what I have available as far as enclosures go. Get it out. So again, you don't want to be married to this stuff. One of the things I wanted to talk about was you want to think of yourself as a toll road, not as a cul-de-sac. Okay? You don't want to be a sack man. Basically, you want to be in and out with as little effort as possible, little to no effort as possible, and then just sort of tax, right? Like in New Jersey, they have toll freeways, right? They have the turnpike, and then they also have I forget what the other one's called. But the New Jersey one is like it's owned by the state. is only like, when I was there, that was back in 2000, was only like 25 cents. And then the Turnpike, which is run by the Port Authority, which is, all the way up through New York and all that kind of stuff, and it controls the harbor and a bunch of other stuff. That one was a little more expensive, and they put Easy Pass on that one. And the toll doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're processing all those cars, and then you get rid of the overhead, which is the people, the jobs. They're like, why do we need to pay jobs when we can just have robots take pictures and all that kind of shit and do it all remotely? So, but the idea is the same, but you can do that sort of the same thing, which is that you pick something up like for $30, double or triple your money, get out of it. Don't be married to this stuff, guys. I know when sometimes people look at this and think, oh, you got so much stuff. It's just because I have the capacity to hold on to it until I can process it and then put it back out there. That's all. I wish this was all clear. I wish it was all turned into money. And that's the other vision too, is that you got to make sure that you're dealing with people that share your vision and understand that you're just doing this to make a living. You're just doing this to, turn this into cash. This is not how I really want to live. This is not how I really want to be. But like the family that I grew up with, they look at all this stuff like, oh, you're a junk, you're a pack rat. I'm like, I have that tendency, but I was able to master it. Everything is for sale. This is not something that I want to keep or deal with on a daily basis. And for years, it took me a really long time, and I'm glad I did it because it got me to grow and be outside of the realm of employment. So when you're an employee, you're a slave. You're just a hired hand. You're a Toby. And so when you go outside of that realm, there's a lot less protection. However, there's a lot more reward. And so if you can, escape, that's what I would encourage you guys to do. And so I did it part-time and for many, many years, just as a hobby, and took up the garage, and then, like I said, in 2003, the Orion auction came around, and it's funny, I'll drive around town and I'll say, oh yeah, that's the dumpster we got some sort of score from Diamond Audio at the time. We cleared out one of their dumpsters full of dead woofers, and the backyard was full, probably 5 or 6 tall, of these Diamond Audio D3 at the time subwoofers. But because I didn't have the parts, because I didn't have the knowledge, because I didn't have the resources to buy parts from China, I threw them all away. Was it a waste? Yes, but I learned from that, and that's certainly not going to happen again. Again, try not to hold don't punish yourself. Just focus on what's positive in your life, and also try to focus on new things all the time. That way it gets you, you have a larger repertoire, you have a larger inventory in your mind, and you have a larger index of choices that you can choose from. So, and I hate self-promotion, but I want to self-promote this stuff. These are for sale, and these are ready to go. This is the GONZO Junior. The red frame ones are D2. The gray ones, which we have more. Ash started putting them away. Those are ready to go, and they're $420 each, or 2 for $700 shipped. Okay, and then I also have a pair of the single 2 ohm GONZO Junior with that dust cap ready to go, which is these guys, local or shipped, $555 each. But that's of course only if you use the hashtag #Handy'sNotHate on your social media, you get that discount. Otherwise, the retail on these is the same as JL, because it outperforms the JL 12W7, but it comes with a 3-year warranty. It's detachable and a bunch of other features that are better than the 12W7. I think there's some other things I wanted to review real quick. I got subs for that finally. Found that box for like $10 and just needed some carpet repair on it. And I got David working on that. The other one is I've been collecting home subwoofer. And basically you just do the math on it. If you can pick it up for 30 or 40 bucks and, lowball them, because a lot of times these home subs are from rich people. They don't give a shit. They instead of having the effort to go down and donate it to Goodwill, right, and not pay taxes on that, whatever it is, $10, $20, whatever, even if it's $100, credit on their taxes, that's really not worth it. They'd rather just put $20 in their pocket. And so you can lowball them, get them for $20, test them, bring them home, and then what you do is you subdivide them. So then you take the amplifier out, or just look it up on eBay, and you say, what is the amplifier repair or replacement cost? And I did this one last month with you guys, the Klipsch, the Klipsch amp. There was a guy on eBay that repairs them all the time for $150 each. So I just posted a replacement for $125 shipped, and it sold within a couple of days. And now the woofer was not worth it. The woofer was on sale there for $30. I was like, that's not worth my time. So what I did was I just put a patch over where the amplifier was, and then put a terminal on the back, and then I pair it up with one of the amps. Like, I'm going to start doing a bunch of these, the Rockford amps, because they're really powerful. 470 watts at 4 ohms. I got to do a follow-up today with Rockford to see if I can get some more information on it, on whether or not a crossover is built into this bass boost and all that kind of stuff. But just little amps like that, little 2-channel amps. Again, it's about just finding stuff and then having the capacity. And this is a lot of capacity. I understand that. And not everybody's going to have that. But just start small and start going from there. And then do it as a hobby. And then, again, it's one of those things where it serves the need that you have to make and build stuff and also learn. And if you can share that with your kids, that's even better, right? Because as a kid, the only thing I could do was hold the flashlight for my dad, and he would yell at me. There's a great joke too about holding the fleshlight for my dad. But anyways, and I'm sure there's a lot of guys out there who can share that story about, being yelled at for that. And it doesn't have to be that way with you and your kids. So you can be nice to them and teach them something, and teach them about electricity and all that kind of stuff. And it's great just to have that sort of bond and communion that you're helping another human being. But again, the idea here is to help people learn how to make $1,000 a week at home, and so that way you don't have to go to work every day. But let me see. I think there was another one that came in, Scar ZVX. The guy was like, this needs recone. We tested it. The dust cap was just loose, so we pulled it off and we put on a carbon fiber dust cap. That one's ready to go. I picked up this 8500 15 MTX. It's a single 2 ohm. I'm going to go ahead and do a demo woofer pouring on it, and then do the TSPs and then get rid of it. The 24 is done. Oh, I got the Punisher in, the 15-inch Punisher. I'm going to do a video on that. I got to glue down the surround on this one today. What else? Oh, I did this one. This Vato. Technically, it's a Vato Extreme, but it's only a triple stack. And then we used the Hutchinson Genesis coil on it. I wanted to see how well it would do. And on this frame, which is the concept frame, it happens that the 15-inch cone it comes from the factory with a 2.5-inch neck, and so it fit. So I was like, ooh, that's a cool thing to know about this frame. Now the spider landing is only, I think the lower landing is like 7.5. You can use the top landing, but it's real thin. I'd rather not. So we ended up using the lower landing, which helped because the deep GONZO cone fit right in. And so that one's good to go. But that one, of course, is for sale here pretty quick. This is a dual 2 that we made with the TC9. I think I'm going to give this to the guy that gave me the Rockford plate amps. So there was a Power Series T1. I don't have time for it. I'll just give him this one instead. And then I also have this, it's not a Type X, it's a Type R that I want to test for you guys. So, and then these are ready. There's 2 of the single 1 ohms ready. This is for D's Nuts. I got to send him the motor today. I can ship that out, and then we'll do the top assembly tomorrow. He sent back the tops. He busted them. Like, he really it was like super floppy butthole. So I got to work on another. I probably got to use the stupid rings that Jacob uses. And then on top of that, use epoxy as well, because he just really made them, like skirt. Skeet. But on these Grinch ones, I have a pair that are 1 ohm single and then 2 ohm single on the other pair. And then we have the Memphis one. Oh yeah, I wanted to do a video just on that to show you the intricacies of Memphis's use of that frame. It's I don't agree with their use, but I understand it. So, but I think that was it. I wanted to give you a little bit of a shop update just to see what's going on. The Power HX2, Ash called out today. She's not feeling great. I don't blame her because I was not feeling great yesterday. After a good poop this morning and a hot shower, which is basically like a vacation for me, I do feel better, but I'll probably call it in early. Oh, and I got to ship a fucking 600 ounce motor today. I'm not looking forward to that. And I did get a couple of 600 ounce motors from Lord of Bass Spiderweb before they run out. They only have about I think about 10 left that he's willing to sell wholesale. And you know, it's typically people that have already done the buy-in, which is like, I think it's $1,000 or $1,500 buy-in. So for juggalos like me that have, you know, I pay my dues, motherfucker. Oh, that was the other one. I wanted to salvage this one. I got a gravity woofer in. It was from that MTX guy. He threw this in. He's like, hey, you use dead subs? I was like, yeah. And he threw this at me and I was like, oh, sweet, man, this is fucking great. And of course, you guys saw the debadge, rebadge that I did. I like the frame on its own. So I actually want to remove it. Probably has that wide pattern, 145 millimeter, which I don't appreciate, but whatever. But I like the frame a lot, and I would love to get it without the plastic inserts to see what it looks like, and also see if, since Gravity is owned by Boss Group, they do lots of stuff all the time, so you can just contact China, and you're like, hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, good friends. You got any of these in stock? And a lot of times they'll just have them in stock, and you can buy. You don't have to buy 100 sometimes. Sometimes they do. They make you buy 100 just because they're like, you need to be a grown-up. And I was like, God damn it. So, but it's just a good double stack 1,000-watt motor, but I'll put that like on a 10 or something like that. And I just want to check out this frame. Keep it for the library and things like that. Riley, the DP, brought back his green monster T2, older T2. He got a little hot, it shifted, and so we're gonna do, oh, that's right, I gotta do that one. We gotta shim it up and do, he's gonna do the Power HX2, or no, it's not Power HX2, XXL from Power Bass, which is a great frame. I actually really like this frame. I'm surprised they use it only for like, well, they actually use it for like three different series, because it actually has a pretty large spider landing. And it's funny, I remember when I first got one, my grinder at the time, his name was Gary, he actually grinded way up here. And I'm like, well, I guess you could put a 12-inch spider in there, but you'd want to make sure you clamp it down. I'm not sure if the guys at Power Bass designed it that way, but you know, it can be used that way. But I think this is 10, and then this is 9 inch spider landing. And then you got to make sure the cone is going to fit. And I mean, it looks cool. I've done some in powder coat red and things like that, but we're going to redo it on the T2 motor. This one I had redone as a quad 3/4 inch. It originally uses triple 1 inch, so 3 inches of ferrite. And this is that crucible made ferrite from Kentucky that we got out of the Volcano Audio buyout. So, and then of course that puts the Mofo frame back in the library where I can study it and use it and keep it. I think that was it. Oh, and then I gotta finish the excuse me. It's, boy, you should have heard some of the loogies come out of me yesterday. All these motors got to be, I think these are zapped, but these all got to get zapped. And the magnetizer is almost done. I really got to just hook it up and figure out which one's positive and which one's negative. on each coil. So it looks like probably the positive is in here. I don't know. I don't know if you can see that inside and then negative outside. I have to put something in there, you zap it, and then you basically test it against a known good, something that's already been magnetized, and you see if it comes out right. That's all. It's not really difficult. This all doesn't do anything anymore. And we basically gutted it. Ugh. And this is what we got to hook up to the output, which is these guys. So, but right now I have this hooked up to like 1,000 volts, and it jumps pretty squirrely because it's going into that little tiny coil. So, and at first I'm going to try these in series. You can get more current if you wire them in parallel, but you start to test the equipment a lot. And so I'm going to see if I can get it because I got to use it on Josh Perm's Neo motor that was it Storm Series 3 HP. I'm gonna show that to you guys. I still got that apart. I don't know where I put the Neo slug, but I gotta draw this out. I'm gonna send it off to my drawing guy. I have a CAD guy, and we're gonna add extra stuff to it. This is the top, so we're gonna add a couple of extra bolt patterns, and then that way I can send it off to China, and they go, all right, it's gonna be this much, and then we can put that into production. So, because I found out you guys were paying like $300 each, which is a lot. What I'd really like to do is have them readily available for you for about $250 each shipped, and then be able to service the old ones and all that kind of stuff for you guys as well. But I think that was it. As you can tell, I'm a little short of breath, and that's just because my lungs are filled with snot. Boogers. I think that was it. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys later though. I'm gonna do the other videos on those. Oh, and I have another T2 motor. So if anybody wants to buy these are, oh, it's shifted. Yeah, Dave was having a hard time getting the frame off, and so now that it's shifted, fuck. He should, I think he took out the bolts. He shouldn't have taken out the bolts. That was a mistake. But, as I've done before, I always turn lemons into lemonade, right? Like this is what I did with the steel last time. So, but I got those two for sale. If anybody wants to buy them, they're only $6.50 each shipped. That's of course ground service. What's his name? Cam over in Hawaii tried to order some 18-inch cones off of eBay. I was like, no, motherfucker, gotta cancel that order. It's like, and it like shipping, and again, there's nothing I can do about the shipping, dude. Fucking, it's $143 just in shipping for like 4 cones. But what am I gonna do? I don't own the earth, so I think that was it. If I did own the earth, I'd give you guys hookups. Get everybody hand jobs and shit like that. Oh, 8Ks, 450 shipped. That's the 5Ks. 2400.4s. I've had these in older videos, guys. You're like, let me see the guts. Like, no. Go look at the old videos. There's so much more information if you just watch the videos from the oldest to the newest. There's plenty of information, and it's important that you just take your time, watch it, absorb it, learn it. We also still have some of the Jizzlama amps. I haven't really been promoting them. We're gonna go ahead and just clear them out at $250 each shipped. They have the they're engraved with lasers. Somebody had their way with this one and roughed it up a little bit. And then what I'll also include is the new Recoil 0 gauge adapter, 0 gauge to 4 gauge. So you can put 0 gauge into these fuckers, even though they don't really need it because they're only good for about 1600 watts. But they're a great replacement for the JL Audio 500/1, V1, V2, and the 1000/1, V1, V2. So 1 ohm stable. I've talked about them in other videos. Also, somebody was asking about the skateboards. Again, mostly this is for promotion. Most of them are blank on the bottom, and they're only $50 each, shipped, and they come with grip tape. And then if you want, I'll throw in some stickers like Jizz Llama and stuff like that. And you can have your kids kick flipping with Jizz Llama. What's a Jizz Llama, Dad? Don't worry about it, son. I'll teach you someday when I take you to Lil Wayne's party, something like that, when we sneak in. But, yeah, and then Hawaiian John came in with, he had, I sold him a butt kicker amp long time ago, probably like 13 years ago. And butt kicker used to make this monoblock 2 ohm stable. It's basically like 1500 watts, 1800 watts maybe. Had a big old linear power supply and a big old toroid in it. And they never recommended using it with subwoofers. They're like, only use this for bass shakers. And I was like, this thing's pretty rad. And so for a long time, I kept one in the library just as my test amplifier. And then I think John bought, him and his dad, it's his stepdad, bought one each. And it finally died on him, and Butt Kicker doesn't want to import it anymore. I would love to import it, but right now there's nobody offers anything like that. And so it's going to take too much time. And so what I'm going to do is go ahead and build them like a little box, basically a project box. We're going to use this Prime 1200, which is 1 ohm stable, but he's going to use it at 2 ohm. And then I got a whole bunch of switcher power supplies that I'm going to put in parallel to beef it up, and then maybe like a 1 or 2 farad capacitor just to show off the voltage, and then maybe put like a big volume knob on it just for show. I saved a bunch of feet and volume knobs off of receivers that, we test them and then they suck, but sometimes you get a receiver and it's missing the volume knob. So what do you know? You have a box full of volume knobs. You're like, yay. So, but I think that was it. And again, if you guys have requests for videos, who was it? Can't remember if it was Jason or Tim. You guys out there on the East Coast wanted to do something about voice coils. I don't know. I'll go over the text again in the emails. I reply to every text. I hate it when somebody's like, you didn't respond to my text or email. I'm like, go fuck yourself. Like, I respond to every one of them. Even if it now if you email me, excuse me. If you email me, I will often tell you to text me because I save email for international clients. Mostly because this is the way that I just have it geared up. Texting is easier for me on the computer. And again, email is saved for international clients and also like business clients, bigger clients, where email is more like that. I like to be more spontaneous and more. I also like the search engine on my phone, so I can search the text too. Oh, I still have BBCs, big black cock amplifiers, 2500s. Oh, laser is coming soon. Yes. William is working on that right now. He ordered the bigger laser, and then I also have the micro machines in. Let me see if I show you. So this was the 4-channel. It's basically a knockoff of the old Stealth B54 that Larry Fitzgerald worked on for Diamond Audio. Diamond had their version, and then Sir-Winbega Mobile had their version as well. So, but it's a very small 4-channel. I have not opened it up. I assume it's Class D because that's what I asked them to give it to me. And then they have a matching 1200 watt bass amp, and we want to sell that as a combo for like maybe under $300 shipped for the whole thing with laser. And it's going to be under our micro machines thing. And again, this is for like side-by-sides, boats, things like that, where it's real small and but you want to have your custom brand on it. That's what we're doing that for. And we will also sell these under the Blackjack Audio brand as well, which is, again, it's not really a brand. So this is how fancy a brand it is. But I got those samples in. We have, I think, 4 of each, 6 of each. I don't know, something like that. But this is the old Recoil 600.4 RED, and it's a full range Class D, and let's see, save for Pat. And this was the Larry's like intro to Recoil. I guess the second intro to Recoil. The first intro to Recoil was way back in 06. This was like around 2010, and when they were over there on 44th Street. But this was the older version, 500.4 Class AB. That's what I use in the shop, the bass one. I think that was it. All right, I'll let you guys go. I love you. Thank you for watching. 35 minutes. That's a good shop update. Yeah, it's a good shop update. Watch. I've been enjoying, like, again, sometimes I just like to unplug my brain and just let it wander. And I love the musings of this guy named Windpress on TikTok. He's also on, is it Stitch? No, it's not Stitch. What is it? Twitch. It's on Twitch. Twitch is free though. You can just access it through the web. You don't have to download the app or anything like that. But he's just a gamer, but he's a goofball, and he's hilarious. He's just and he's not he's good, but he's not like one of these guys that's like really, really good. I think he's just entertaining to watch and interact with, and I recommend him. And he's just been kind of a nice place for me to watch and fall asleep to these last couple of nights, because I've been kind of miserable, couldn't breathe, with the flu and all that kind of stuff. So, but anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Thank you for all your support, and go help somebody and love other people and give a hand job to a homeless guy. So it's good. Share the love. Any more over here? No. Oh, for local guys, I do have the things available. This was the GONZO demo Mini Cooper box. This fits in a Mini Cooper for 2 GONZO 15s, and I have the 2 GONZO 15s still available. I've had a couple of nibbles. Guys say they want them, and then they just don't ever call me again. Those are still available, $9.50 each, shipped, 3-year warranty. The 21s were secured by T-Dog for Tom. So Tom is going to do the 221s and the big Surfboard Soundstream amp along with the cabinets. He's got he has the GMC. He doesn't have the Escalade. He has the GMC version, which is the Yukon, whatever. And he's going to do that. So that way his bass dreams will come true. So, but I cannot complain about the weather, even though for us it's freezy. And I have on my winter clothes, see? Which is just a secondary t-shirt. That's as wintry as I get. I'm still in shorts. But it's, as you can see, it's all sunshine today and it's nice. It says it's going to rain again, which we never like. In Arizona, if it rains, dude, it totally bums us out. We just get all bummed. Oh, totally defeated. And the rest of the country's like, rain is normal. It's like, rain is not normal here. So, but I love you guys. I want to eat some lunch. I'll talk to you later.